Topps accidentally leaked the odds for Chrome Update NBA and then yanked them back down a few minutes later. Somebody caught them in time, and that somebody is Slabsquatch. Everything in this video, the numbers, the math, the analysis, comes straight from his breakdown on Substack, so full credit to him up front. Links in the description. Let's get into what's actually buried in this release. So here's the setup. The odds went live for a few minutes before Topps pulled them. Somebody in Slabsquatch's network caught it almost immediately. He grabbed everything before the window closed and then spent the whole night pulling the numbers apart. What he found is a release that's shaping up to be one of the most chaotic, heavily chased products of the year. And a few things in here Topps probably didn't want us finding this early. Let's break it down piece by piece. Starting with the fundamentals. Pre-orders open July 7th. Hobby boxes are priced at $530, jumbo boxes at $10.80, and value boxes at $45. This is also the first time we're seeing unwrapped megas. Those are $85 a box, and you can usually find sealed megas around that same price, though maybe not directly from Topps. Fanatics megas dropped at $100 a box. One bummer if you loved the last release, the hanger box honey hole. Remember, that was the cheap way into the licensed NBA Chrome release, is not coming back for Chrome Update. Slabsquatch does expect it to return for next season's regular Chrome release, though. Box dynamics are mostly typical across formats, with one change. Breaker's Delight is moving from 10 cards up to 12 cards per box. Now let's talk print runs, because this is where things get real. Total cards in this product, just under 53.8 million. Compare that to the regular NBA Chrome release, which had almost 90 million cards. That's a 40.1% decrease overall. Breaking it down by format compared to regular NBA Chrome, Hobby, about 97,000 boxes, down 7%. Jumbo, about 26,500 boxes, down 23.3%. Breaker's Delight, about 26,200 boxes, down 16.5%. Value boxes, about 900,000 boxes, down 22.7%. Mega boxes, about 374,000 boxes, down 39%. Fanatics megas, about 30,000 boxes, flat, no change. Sapphire, about 10,000 boxes, down just 3.7%. None of this is a huge shock once you know the overall drop is around 40%, and most individual formats dropped less than that because hangers got eliminated entirely as a format this time. Fanatics Megas and Sapphire staying flat also lines up with expectations. Let's look at the actual hit rates for every format, box by box. Starting with Hobby, you're looking at 1 auto, 13 parallels, 11.8 inserts, and 2.46 numbered cards per box. Jumbo steps that up significantly. 3 autos, 23 parallels, 15.8 inserts, and 3.46 numbered cards per box. Best autograph odds of any format. Breaker's Delight comes in at 2 autos, 8 parallels, 2 inserts, and 3.8 numbered cards per box. Though these numbers come with a caveat, since Topps hasn't been totally clear on what fills out those extra cards. Now to retail. Value boxes are the long shot. 1 auto per 18.7 boxes, 4.65 parallels, and 2 inserts. Mega boxes are a lot stronger. 1 auto per 9.5 boxes, 14.6 parallels, and 3 inserts. And Fanatics Megas are right there with them. 1 auto per 9.07 boxes, 14.6 parallels, and 3 inserts. Basically the same odds as regular Megas, just a slightly better shot at an auto. So if you're chasing autos specifically, Jumbo and Hobby are your best bet. If you're chasing parallels and inserts on a budget, Mega and Fanatics Mega punch way above their price point. Here's a stat worth knowing before you decide where to spend your money. 61.6% of all the autographs in this entire product are numbered versus base autos. For comparison, on the original NBA Chrome release, that number was only 51.9%. So this release skews noticeably more toward numbered hits. Broken down by format, percentage of autos that are numbered, Jumbo, 74.33%, Hobby, 74.08%, Delight, 68.1%, Fanatics Mega, 60.19%, Mega, 38.3%, Value, 28.06%. As for the rare inserts, the ones that fall one per case or rarer, Hobby, Jumbo, and Delight get Captains, Celebracion, Radiating Rookies, and Shadow Edge. Value, Mega, and Fanatics Mega get Paradox, Fanatical, and Glass Canvas. And 3 inserts, Helix, Minion Fractor, and Alter Egos, show up across every format. Per box odds on pulling any rare insert, Hobby, 1 per 5.96 boxes, roughly 2 per case. Jumbo, 1 per 3.94 boxes, roughly 2 per case. Delight, 1 per 6.05 boxes, roughly 1 per case. Value, 1 per 22.2 boxes, roughly 1.8 per case. Mega, 1 per 11.3 boxes, roughly 1.8 per case. Fanatics Mega, 1 per 6.67 boxes, roughly 3 per case. That Fanatics Mega number is a little inflated because of the popular Fanaticals insert, which falls almost 2 per case in that format specifically. Even without Fanaticals, the rest of their rare inserts land close to 1 per case, so it's still a legitimately strong format for chasing them.
Quick flag before moving on. Sapphire isn't in the main hit rate breakdown because it's dropping as a separate release, and Slabsquatch is planning to give it the full treatment once it's closer to launch. But there's something in the posted odds worth mentioning now, with the caveat that these numbers could still change. If the odds Topps posted hold up, this could be the most loaded Sapphire product we've ever seen from an autograph standpoint. The math works out to 2.23 autos per box, and based on how Chrome NBA Sapphire performed before, every single one of those autos should be gold, numbered to 50 or better. On top of that, the insert side is stacked too. Infinite falls about once every 2 cases. A Sapphire Selections base or parallel shows up in roughly 90% of boxes, and the total insert hit rate lands close to exactly 1 per box. We haven't seen a Sapphire product with numbers like this before, and if they hold, this has real potential to be a huge earner for breakers. Just don't lock in your plans yet. There's always a chance Topps revises these odds before release. All right, the cards everybody actually cares about, the debut patch autos. According to the checklist, there are 93 total debut patch autos in this release, plus 6 additional debut patches without autographs. These aren't just big cards. A few of them have a real shot at becoming some of the most significant modern basketball cards of the decade, including a Cooper Flag debut patch auto that's realistically looking at a 7-figure valuation. Here's the problem. When you use the posted odds to calculate exactly how many packs of each format were produced, and those numbers can be cross-checked against every other numbered parallel in the product, and they mostly check out, the debut patch autos don't add up. Only 31 of the 93 total cards are actually accounted for in the published odds. 2/3 of them are simply missing from the math. That's not Topps forgetting to print 2/3 of a subset. Something in the published odds is wrong or incomplete. There's also currently no odds entry at all for the 6 non-autographed debut patches, so right now there's no way to know which formats can even produce those. The expectation is that Topps repost corrected odds right before launch, and if that happens, Slabsquatch will update the breakdown immediately. It's also worth noting this isn't a first. The 2025 Topps Chrome Update Baseball release had the exact same issue, where debut patch autos had 2 separate, completely different odds entries. It's clearly a pattern with Topps on their biggest hits. One thing Topps has been doing on the baseball side with Finest and Chrome is splitting the checklist, so the best names only pull from Hobby. Good news? That's not really happening here. Autos available in all formats include Topps Chrome autos and Rookie Lava Lamp autos. Hobby-only subsets are Havoc Marks, 1980-81 Topps autos, Future Stars autos, and the Drewski and Spike Lee autos. Retail only is just chromographs. Bottom line, yes, hobby formats produce more total autos and significantly more numbered ones, but there's no secret checklist of the biggest names locked away from retail collectors. The star power is spread across every format, which is honestly a refreshing change. Now let's talk dollars and cents, based on pre-order pricing. $530 Hobby, $1,080 Jumbo, $45 Value, $85 Mega, $100 Fanatics Mega. Delight isn't included here since pricing wasn't available yet, but expect it to be steep. Cost per card. Value is cheapest at $1.61, then Mega at $2.02, Fanatics Mega at $2.38,
Hobby at $6.63, and Jumbo at $8.18. Cost per parallel. Mega leads at $5.83, Fanatics Mega at $6.86, Value at $9.68, Hobby at $40.83, Jumbo at $47.06. Cost per auto. Jumbo is actually the cheapest way to hit an auto at $360, then Hobby at $530, Mega at $805.80, Value at $841.50, and Fanatics Mega at $907. Cost per numbered auto. Jumbo is the value play here at $484.33, Hobby at $715.44, Fanatics Mega at $1,506.89, Mega at $2,104.47, and Value at $2,998.93. Cost per rare insert. Fanatics Mega leads at $667, Mega at $957.10, Value at $999.45, Hobby at $3,158.80, Jumbo at $4,255.20. And finally, cost per quality hit, meaning any parallel or insert numbered to 75 or less, any case hit or rare or insert, or any auto numbered to 100 or less. Fanatics Mega is the clear value winner at $221.40, then Value at $368.46, Mega at $410.21, Hobby at $507.18, and Jumbo at $556.20.
So what's the move? Prices on this release are going up a lot across the board. There's less product than the original NBA Chrome release, and the chase cards are even bigger. There's also no easy, cheap hack like the hanger boxes were last time. Hobby and Jumbo are expected to double in price, and Delight is starting absurd and will probably climb from there. The advice? If you see any of this anywhere close to retail pricing, grab it. Rip it, stash it, sell it later, doesn't matter which, you're not likely to regret having it. For context, NBA Chrome Megas that were sitting around $70 not long ago are now going for about $250. Format ranking, in order of preference. Hobby, Fanatics Megas, Jumbo, Megas, then Value. Every format has something going for it. Even value boxes give you the best shot at collecting every parallel and insert in the set. Fanatics Megas dominate for retail rare inserts and retail exclusive autos. Jumbo is the king of pulling autographs overall. Hobby is best for the non-retail rare inserts, with the exception of Helix, which is actually easiest to find in value boxes. The one format that's hard to recommend is Delight. Not because the odds aren't loaded, they clearly are, but the only price seen so far is $3,500 a box, which is a tough ask for basketball cards. That's the full breakdown. Every number in this video, the production data, the odds, the value map, all of it comes from Slabsquatch's research, and he's also published the complete print run database for this release on his Substack, completely free for the first week before it moves behind a small paywall. If you want to bookmark the actual reference numbers instead of just watching this video once, go check it out at substack.com/slabsquatch. Links in the description and the pinned comment. If this helped you plan out your rips, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.